May 1st in history. In 1707, England and Scotland stood as separate kingdoms sharing one monarch but divided by centuries of rivalry, war, and competing ambitions. On May 1st, the Acts of Union merged both kingdoms into Great Britain, creating a single parliament at Westminster and unifying trade and foreign policy. This union forged one of history's most influential nations, building an empire that would reshape global politics, language, and culture for centuries. In 1851, London's Hyde Park was transformed by an extraordinary structure of iron and glass, the Crystal Palace, built to house the world's first international exhibition. Queen Victoria officially opened the Great Exhibition on May 1st, as over 25,000 guests marveled at industrial wonders from 40 countries displayed under one glass roof. Over 6 million visitors attended, and its profits funded the Victoria and Albert Museum, the Science Museum, and the Natural History Museum, institutions that endure today. In 1863, the American Civil War raged through Virginia. Union General Hooker marched over 100,000 troops toward Robert E. Lee's vastly outnumbered Confederate army. Lee split his forces and sent Stonewall Jackson on a bold flanking march through dense forest, crashing into the Union's exposed right flank at dusk. Lee won his greatest victory, but lost Stonewall Jackson to friendly fire. The costly triumph emboldened Lee's fateful march toward Gettysburg. In 1869, Paris was the cultural capital of the world. On the bustling Rue Richer, a grand new entertainment venue was about to change nightlife forever. The Folies Bergère opened its doors as a dazzling music hall, featuring operettas, acrobats, and spectacular stage shows that captivated Parisian audiences. The Folies Bergère became a global icon of entertainment, immortalized by Manet's famous painting and inspiring cabaret culture for over a century. In 1886, America's factories ran on grueling schedules. 300,000 workers nationwide walked off the job, demanding an 8-hour workday. On May 1st, Chicago's streets filled with the largest labor demonstration in American history. Workers marched shoulder to shoulder, their voices united for dignity. The Haymarket events transformed labor rights worldwide. May 1st became International Workers' Day, and the 8-hour workday eventually became law. In 1893, Chicago prepared to dazzle the world. The world's Columbian Exposition rose from the shores of Lake Michigan, a gleaming white city of neoclassical grandeur. President Cleveland pressed a golden telegraph key, and thousands of electric lights blazed to life. The first Ferris wheel towered above the Midway, carrying riders 200 feet skyward. 27 million visitors witnessed the future. Alternating current electricity proved its power, and the fair's vision shaped American cities, architecture, and culture for generations. In 1898, tensions between the United States and Spain reached a breaking point. Commodore George Dewey's Asiatic Squadron steamed toward the Philippines. At dawn on May 1st, Dewey gave his famous order, "Fire when ready." His squadron destroyed the entire Spanish fleet without losing a single American sailor. This stunning victory announced America as a Pacific power. The Philippines became a U.S. territory, reshaping global politics for the century ahead. In 1915, the Grand Ocean liner RMS Lusitania prepared to depart New York, even as German warnings filled American newspapers. On May 7th, a German U-boat torpedo struck the Lusitania off the Irish coast. She sank in just 18 minutes, killing nearly 1,200 souls. The sinking outraged Americans and shifted public opinion dramatically. 2 years later, the United States entered World War I. In 1931, New York City was racing skyward. Amid the Great Depression, an ambitious skyscraper neared completion on Fifth Avenue, promising to dwarf every structure on Earth. President Hoover pressed a button from Washington, D.C., and the Empire State Building blazed to life. At 1,454 feet, it became the tallest building in the world. The Empire State Building held its title for nearly 40 years. It remains an enduring symbol of American ambition and the defining icon of the New York skyline. In 1956, polio terrorized American families. Every summer, parents feared the invisible virus that could paralyze their children overnight. Dr. Jonas Salk developed a safe vaccine, and millions of children lined up at schools and clinics to receive the life-saving injection. Polio was virtually eliminated from the United States, proving that science and public cooperation could conquer humanity's most feared diseases. In 1960, at the height of the Cold War, American spy planes secretly photographed Soviet military installations from 70,000 feet above. On May 1st, a Soviet missile struck pilot Francis Gary Power's U-2 plane over the Ural Mountains, sending it spiraling down into enemy territory. The incident destroyed a planned peace summit, humiliated President Eisenhower, and deepened the Cold War divide for decades to come. In 2011, after nearly a decade of hunting the world's most wanted man, U.S. intelligence finally traced Osama bin Laden to a walled compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. On May 1st, Navy SEAL Team 6 launched Operation Neptune Spear, storming the compound under cover of darkness in stealth helicopters and killing the al-Qaeda leader. The mission ended a 10-year manhunt sparked by September 11th, marking a turning point in the global war on terror and reshaping U.S. foreign policy for years to come.